I am going to attempt to answer this question. So, my husband has brought a baby mama's child in my house and he's not listening to me in anything I say. So now I want a divorce. What should I do? This can be a very complicated and hard and difficult situation, but I will ask this because it's not clear. Did your husband have this child from this other woman while you guys were married or before you were married? Because that answer changes everything. If this child is from a previous relationship before you met your husband or before you got married, before you got together, then it is your duty as a woman to love this child, to accept this child, to nurture this child, because that child is a part of your husband. That child comes as a package with your husband. It's his child, it's his blood. Okay, it sounds to me the way you say it, he brought a baby mama's child. It sounds to me like you're not speaking to this woman. There is some kind of animosity between you and the child's mother, and therefore you could be taking your anger or your resentment out on the child. Okay, if your husband had this child while you guys were together or while were married, it's adultery. You have every right to divorce your husband. However, I'm not encouraging divorce. I'm just saying he stepped out of the marriage, and for us publicly, that is legal grounds for divorce. However, even if this child was while you guys were married, you should still love this child. That child did not warrant any hatred or any resentment on itself. Children are innocent. Okay, you also say, and he is not listening to me in anything I say. So who's not listening? Is it the child if he's a boy child, or is it your husband? If it is the child, let's say for example, this child was before wedlock and the child is now in your home and the child is not listening, being rebellious or being stubborn, it is your duty as a woman, as a mother, because that's what you are now. If you accept your husband and this is his child from a previous relationship, you are a mother. It is your duty to spend time with that child. It is your duty to nurture that child. It is your duty to be patient and loving and kind and understanding to that child. He might not be listening, not because he doesn't want to listen to you, he just wants to be a rebellious child, but he might not be listening to you because he didn't grow up in a home where he had to learn to listen. He didn't grow up in a home of discipline. He didn't grow up in a home where he was taught correctly. So it is your duty as your husband's wife, and he's your husband's child, to nurture that child, to love that child, to accept that child, to be patient with that child. And whatever you are feeling inside against the woman, the mother of that child, you have to take that to God. You have to go with your heart, your emotions, your heart's condition to God. If you say to me, your husband is not listening to what you say, then from your husband's point of view, I can kind of sort of understand how he's feeling, because he's like, this is my child. This is my blood. You are my wife. I cannot make the choice between you as my wife and my child. I want you guys together in unity. I want us to be a family. So if your husband is not listening and he's pushing back and he's insisting that this child be in the house, that's because he wants to be a husband and a father at the same time. And again, it is your duty as a righteous woman of God, as a Proverbs 31 woman, to give that family, your family in your home, your patience, your love, your kindness, even when it's frustrating you inside. They don't warrant your anger and your emotions. They didn't do anything, especially the child, to deserve any kind of animosity from you. That child is innocent. So you take your feelings, you take your heart, you take the anger to God to deal with you in your heart. But then what you give out in your home is love, is kindness, is understanding, and is solutions, instead of giving problems, instead of complaining, instead of fighting. I hope this answers your question. I don't know you personally, Kathy. I don't know the entire situation. I'm just going off of what is being written in the comment. So if this child is from a previous relationship, you have to love that child. If this child came while you and your husband were together or in marriage, then you have a legal right to divorce that child, to divorce your husband. But either which way, it sounds to me like you calling the child's mother a baby mama. And yes, it might be a baby mama. Yes, it might have happened in wedlock as adultery, but that child has no basis for your animosity. That child has no basis for your hurt. And whatever is in your home, your husband is now trying to bring you guys together so he can be the covering to you as his wife, to his child that he made, and to maybe your children. So you need to take your heart's condition to God. I hope this helps. God bless.